During that lockdown period, what was business like?
Throughout the COVID experience, we've grown 610%. We, yes, lost a lot of customers through the impact. The initial fear that people had was like, we're going to stop everything, cancel everything. And we saw that initial impact. The 23rd of March 2020 is the day that will probably go down in the history books. It was the day the UK officially went on lockdown. Towns were closed, shops boarded up, people weren't even allowed to see their family. They weren't even allowed to leave their houses, and rules were put in place for what we could and couldn't do. But for Be More Social as a business, we had to make a decision pretty damn quickly. For me, life had to continue regardless. 100%. I'd worked so hard to get to this point. I was not about to let it go. There was pressure from everybody. Government, staff, friends, family, for me just to shut up shop, come home and wait it out, just like everybody else was supposed to do. But I suppose in the typical Be More Social way and fashion, I chose to ignore them rules just a little bit, abide by a certain degree of social isolation and distancing and all that kind of other stuff. But we vowed to continue on and keep going. And for me, it was important that I did that for my own sanity, for my own business, for the safety of my staff, of the jobs, and of my family as well. I made calculated risks. I made risks based on numbers that we'd accumulated along the way. And it paid off. I decided to take partnerships, not in terms of business partnerships, but I created and forged reciprocal partnerships where we partnered with other third-party organizations that had an audience that we wanted, that had an audience that needed supporting in a way that we could support them. And that had a very positive effect on our business. I think the high street will bounce back, but they have to innovate. I think rather than ignore this digital space, I think they have to embrace it even more. We do have retailers that work on the high street that are on our system that have only last week experienced the best week they've ever had since opening their business. And that is because they're open. And people have been desperate to get back. But what they chose not to do is to go silent throughout that whole COVID experience. They chose to go deep and heavy on their social, let people know that they still existed. And I think in terms of bouncing back, businesses have to go hard on social and hard on this digital space and make sure that they're talking to people regularly enough so they're not forgotten.
Tell me about Being More Social then. What happened?
What we chose to do is be resilient and strong and stubborn. We already delivered workshops and all we simply did was turn them into webinars. For me, that's not a pivot. That is just a different way of looking at things. We were resilient in the fact that we were determined to fulfill on the promises that we already made. What we will do is make sure that nobody forgets about us and we honor our promises. It's as simple as that.
During that lockdown period, what was business like?
And the first day we went on lockdown, we was, I suppose, driven by that fear and having conversations about furloughing staff and all these kind of other things. And by the time we got to the end of that day, it wasn't 6 hours. We were just like, do you know what? Fuck it. There's no point in following everybody else's lead. We should be the front runners. We should be the leaders, maybe showing people how to do it. Maybe that's arrogant. I don't really know. But we shouldn't be fearful of what we can't control. We should take control of the situation and make something happen. So within that 6 hour period, we made that transition, or that thought transition from, oh my God, what we're going to do? Let's furlough half the staff, maintain our clients that we've got right at this moment in time, to, right, scrap that. Let's contact everybody we know, all our third-party partners, and deliver on our promise so that at least we can stay afloat. When in fact, what happened is we absolutely smashed all our targets. We absolutely smashed all expectations of what 3 months, it's been the best 3 months we've ever had. As much as I hate to say it, and I'm embarrassed to say, because other people haven't had a great time, but we have.
Do you think there's a mentality shift in terms of like the way people see digital?
The feedback, just the physical feedback that we're getting from customers today, their mentality towards digital marketing and the digital space has changed. We've been a front runner for digital marketing for many, many years, and it's taken a long time. And it's a shame actually that it's taken this COVID experience for people to believe in it. Finally, we see the fruits of some labor in digital, but lots of people didn't actually believe in it. They didn't realize the impact it could have on their business.
So if there's one thing that you take away from this experience of lockdown?
The one thing that I'm going to take from this is just that one word, resilience. I watched something the other day, and it spoke about why, of all the people that try to be in business, to try to make a difference, is it that there's only 1% that makes it? And I think it's because only 1% of the people that actually do something and make something of their lives actually enjoys the process rather than the endpoint. 99% of the people that put effort into their business are continually thinking about, when I get there, I'm going to get this. When I get there, I'm going to do that with my life. And they forget about the effort that they've got to put in between. When times like this hit, it is scary, it is hard. You have no idea that the effort you're going to put into it is actually going to work. So what my message is to people is, forget about the outcomes, forget about enjoying what it's going to feel like when you get there. Just try and find a way of enjoying the process, and in doing so, you'll get there a hell of a lot faster, and when you do get there, the rewards will be so much more greater.